A lot of people are really confused about institutional order flow, and they don't understand how institutional order flow works. Order flow is something that is very, very important in smart money concept. So today I'm going to explain order flow and how to use order flow to your advantage. That is catching high risk to reward trades using order flow. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is me, Solomon Wisdom, aka Born to Trade, and today we'll be discussing about institutional order flow. So if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing to this channel. In this channel I teach about smart money concept and how you can actually make money from the financial market trading with smart money concept. So if you are totally new to the channel, consider subscribing, and if you're my returning viewer, thanks very much for always watching and supporting me. So let's dive into the topic right now. When you see this kind of price action, you see price breaking, that is going up, and price returns to mitigate. It breaks, mitigates, and you see price continue doing something like this. This is simply order flow. Okay, it can be considered as order flow. So what does this mean in simple terms? This is simply price coming back to mitigate the zone. You understand how smart money concept works. You understand that what institution did here is they push price lower, moved higher, breaks structure. Now they return to mitigate the zone. Institutions are moving their money here. You can see that they are coming back to mitigate zones. So that is, they are entering more buy orders in the market, and you keep seeing them moving higher, breaking structure, returning back to the zone to mitigate and push price higher. So when you see price doing something like this, this is considered as institutional order flow. This is a bullish order flow. I hope you understand. And when you see price doing something like this, this explains that these lows right here are totally protected, because these lows are where institutions are entering their buy orders. I hope you understand. So this can continue to happen until you see price hits a higher time frame point of interest. So when price hits higher time frame point of interest, that's when you start seeing price changing the order flow. You start seeing price breaking lower and starts mitigating zones. See them mitigating zones, and this explains that the order flow have shifted from a bullish order flow to a bearish order flow. So let's quickly go to the price chart. Let me explain this, and I hope you understand better when I explain on the price chart. What we can clearly see is that from here, price broke structure to the downside. We got a break of structure over here. You can see price dropped down, pulled back over here. You can see it. Price dropped down. Here it was the pullback, and now we got this break of structure. And if you look closely, we have a wick over here, and you can agree with me that when you move to the lower time frame, there is a supply zone over there. And what can you see price do? Price went back to mitigate that zone. Hope you can see that price pushed back, mitigating this zone. And after that, what do we see? We see price move lower, breaking structure again. Price breaks structure to the downside, and what can we see? We have another wick. Why I'm mapping out only the wick over here is that this is the 4 hours time frame. So this thing I'm explaining right now, it works on all time frames, from the daily time frame, hourly time frame, weekly time frame, down to the minutes time frame, even the seconds time frame. So it works on all different time frames. Let's continue. You see, so the break of structure before price returns back to mitigate the zone it creates over there, and moving lower, you see we got another break of structure over here. Price returns back to mitigate the zone over there. And what does this simply mean? This is simply a bearish order flow. Institutions are moving their money there, mitigating these zones, pushing price to a higher time frame point of interest. Moving lower, what can we see from here? You see price breaks another structure. I hope you can see it, a clean break of structure over here. And what do we see price do? Price returns back to mitigate a zone over there. I hope you can see it. Price returns back, and this was really a high probability setup, because you see price induce people into taking trades before we see price returning back to that zone to mitigate the zone. And over here we have a zone that is unmitigated. This particular zone over here wasn't mitigated, and it is totally acceptable. Price don't have to mitigate all the zones on its way to the higher time frame point of interest. Okay, so it is totally acceptable when we see price actions like that. Okay, moving lower, what can we see? Over here we got another break of structure. we got a break of structure over here, and what can we see price do? You see price coming to mitigate a zone over here. I hope you can clearly see that. We have a clean supply zone over here, and price returns back to mitigate. So this is simply bearish order flow, smart money moving their money. And one thing you need to understand right now is that you see these highs right here. These highs are protected, and smart money won't like to trade above these highs, because this highs is where they are entering their order. You see, they don't want to see price break above these highs until they hit a higher time frame point of interest. So when you go to the daily or the weekly charts, you see this point of interest. Okay, so let's continue. Let me explain this quickly. So over here we got what? Another break of structure before price taps into our higher time frame point of interest, and immediately price taps into our higher time frame point of interest. What can we see over here? We equally got a break of structure. Sorry, I didn't map that out. You see it, we got a break of structure here, and from here you see we got a change of character. That is, price breaks above this demand zone, which we call chalk. As price broke above that zone, we see that as price changing direction. You see we have a very good zone, and when price broke that zone, it tells us that the order flow is about to change. That is, we are now switching from a bearish order flow to a bullish order flow, because we've hit a higher time frame point of interest. Now, another thing you need to understand, as price is about to switch the flow, that is, as smart money is trying to change their direction. You know, over here they were moving money to the downside, and now they're trying to push price higher. That is, they were pushing price to the downside, and over here they're trying to push price higher. What you need to understand is that this area is now area of liquidity, because retail traders, what they can see here is that the trend line has been holding price, and they will be taking trades from this, and they must have made a lot of money trading from this. Especially scalpers or the traders have made a lot of money from trading this way. Now, long-term traders, they are still holding some of their positions, and now that smart money is about to push price higher because they've hit a higher time frame point of interest, what this essentially means is that they are going to target this liquidity, this trend line liquidity, because this simply means that money is resting above this area. It simply means that money is resting above this area. This area is now area of liquidity, and they will target that area. Okay, so moving forward and explaining more, what we can see is that we got a change of character, and we have a zone over here, but price failed to return and mitigate that particular zone. Moving higher, over here we got a break of structure over here. You can see it clearly from here that price broke structure over here, and if we use this demand zone this way, price tagged us into a trade. But if we refined it down over here, there was no mitigation. But using the zone this way, there was a clear mitigation, but refining it down, there wasn't any mitigation. Moving higher, you see price, you see the order flow, price breaks higher again. What do we see? A demand zone, price mitigates, and what can we see again? Another break of structure right here. Price returns back again. What can we see? Price is coming back to mitigate the zone. I hope you can see that this is simply institutional order flow. This is how they are moving their money. Institution are moving their money right here, and price will continue moving this way. If you go down to a lower time frame, this week is going to be a break of structure. You know, this is the 4 hours time frame, but since I'm using the 4 hours time frame, so I will extend it to here. We got a close above the high. Okay, so this was our demand zone, and what can we see price do? Price comes back, mitigates, and now we see price coming lower to mitigate another zone resting below here. This week, that is over here, price comes lower to mitigate it, and you can see price continues that way. Over here we got a break of structure, but price didn't come lower to mitigate anything. You can see the price action here is really efficient. There was no imbalance left. Price was efficient right here. Okay, so moving higher, what can we see? We got another break of structure over here, a good one. you equally have a zone. If you mapped out from the wick of this candle, you got involved. If you include the body of this candle, that is the last down close candle before this move, you are still involved in the trade. And continuing that way, over here, you see where we currently at price. We got a zone at this week, a very large zone here on the week. And what can you see? You see price coming back, mitigating the zone and moving higher. And where is price targeting? If you move to daily time frame, you see this higher time frame point of interest. This is where price is moving, and that is where we'll start to expect a possible reversal. Okay, so this is institutional order flow, and this is how it works. And you see this particular move right here that broke structure. I shared this particular one on my Telegram channel. This is Euro AUD. I will display the image and I'll show you, but I couldn't get involved in this trade because when I measured this zone, it was about 100 pips. I can recall 122 pips. So I had to refine the zone down to the 1 hour time frame. That's why I missed this trade. I would have gotten involved and ride the flow of the markets, that is trading with smart money, trading with their footprints. I would have traded with the flow to this zone over here. Okay, so this is their targets. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Let me show you the higher time frame, because you know they can't continue moving price to the same direction. They will get to a point where they would want to reverse price from. So you can see this is a higher time frame point of interest, and this is where I'm expecting a possible reversal, because you can see we got a break of structure over here. You can see we got a break over here, and we equally have another break over here to the downside. Those breaks push price to the downside, and this is where I'll be expecting to get involved in a possible reversal. But trying to trade the continuation, if you try to trade the continuation, trying to ride the flow of the market, you would have made a lot of profits by now. And I hope this video was really helpful, and I hope you understand what institutional order flow is about. Okay, so thanks very much for being part of this video, and I hope you got value out of this video. Like I said before, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're interested in following me in any of my platforms, you're interested in joining my Telegram channel, I share free setups on that channel. I share possible setups on that channel, so you can join. And if you have interest in following me on my Instagram, the links are in the description box. You can join me. So thanks very much. This is Tumi Solomon Wisdom, aka Born to Trade, and I'm pleading, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to the channel.